Hi, it's Jez from Nigezza Creates. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm back with my altered book. You might have seen it in my top tip of preparing an altered book. So this one is the version where the book is stitched in, and I've just removed all the pages, snipped the threads and just pulled out all the pages from the centre. And this one is the one where I ripped them out, and they ripped out really cleanly, so there isn't any of that sort of gubbins. There's the odd little bit, and actually towards the end it got a little bit more difficult, so there is that in there, but I think I'm gonna sort of pull them out a little bit better as I go along. But it's quite nice that I haven't got that gubbins there, and I've got this great big pile of book pages, so I can use those for glue pages, for making substrates, and I may even bin some because I've just got so many book pages and they're not old. And so yeah, not quite sure what we're going to do with them. But so what I've got, so this book has got a little bit of discoloration around the edges, so I'm thinking that I might leave them like that and not do anything with that. But these are quite white, and so I wanted to colour them. So I've brewed a bit of tea there. It's still quite hot actually. I've got my paintbrush, so I thought I'd give them a bit of a paint. And some of these pages I'm going to keep the pages, and I'm not going to glue paper to it. What I do when I do this method is that I cover each page. I don't glue them together. So if I'm going to tea stain, I need to tea stain the whole page, but these I'm going to cover because they're not that pretty, but that one's pretty. So yeah, so I need to sort of go through and decide which ones are gonna be kept and not, and I'm going to keep the other one as is, because the colours okay. So I thought I'd just show you. So I've obviously done a little bit of gluing on this and a bit of all sorts of other things. So a little bit of cereal liner. I've got a little silicone mat there. That's from me, from what I use when I get things out of the oven. It was just that it was quite hot for carrying upstairs. So what I did before was I just put tea round the outside, because the centre's going to get covered up. But this page I might show more of it, in which case I'm covering the whole thing, but this just wants the edges doing. And by doing this, you do end up with that nice sort of crinkle that you get when you dye paper, which you wouldn't get if you left it, which is why I'm in two minds with the other one of doing this with it anyway. So just going around, you do get, I kind of did half, well, maybe not even as much as half, and sort of left it to dry, and then did the other half. Because I'm afraid of it sort of sticking together and not being able to pull it apart. Like so. The other thing I thought about doing was that it might be possible to just paint it down like that, and it will seep in. I haven't tried this before, but I did see somebody else do this. I'm not sure how successful it was, but thought, let's have a go. I'm getting tea on the cover as well. I quite like just you never learn, do you, unless you have a go. So. Knock off the drips. Let's see what's happened. Wow, I think that's what you call an epic fail. There was a little bit of seepage in, but not masses amount. Some bits are better than others. But yeah, it's not been majorly successful, that, Jez. Right, gonna mop up this tea because I don't really want to put the book down in it, really. So we'll kind of stick to what we were doing. Now I have done this, made it quick by using my iron. I might just try my heat gun on this, see what happens. So it'll be a bit noisy. Right, I'm gonna, because this is a nice plain page, I'm gonna put a bit of tea along there. And I'm thinking I might try and iron it, because I kind of want this to be quite quick. So with that little blast there, I could now iron it. And I'm a little bit afraid if this gets too wet, it'll all fall apart. So I'm gonna dry some more with the heat gun and then get my iron out. So I've got my iron hot. The pages are quite wet, so I'm just there trying to go down that seam and then thinking it's a bit delicate. So there is a bit of sizzle putting a hot iron on what is pooled tea, really, so I prefer it when the tea's sunk in a little bit when I'm ironing it dry. So I think it might take a while for that bit to dry fully, and then we'll assess the situation. They look okay. So I think what will happen is, because of the way that is kind of glued, those two pages probably get glued together. I might, have it as a corner pocket or something. And these are all right, and you're starting to get a nice feel to it that you don't get when it's not done. So I'm gonna see if I can do this without the need of the heat gun. So I'm just going to paint that on. Make it not quite as drippy. Just want to go on the edges. Let's do a couple. So we'll go down the middle and then just the edges, really. Don't have to do the centre bit. Right, now we'll go back to here where it's So I'm ironing this because I feel that that's going to make the, even though I haven't got tea on there, that the heat from it will go through and dry this out. So it's not bone dry, but it is making the process a bit quicker. And the last time I did it, I kind of did half a book. Well, I didn't do half. I did like it in like 4 goes, and it did take a couple of days of sunny weather to get it all done. But I'm thinking that this way I'll get it all done and ready for using quite early on. And being mindful of the fact that now that's a little bit wet, that just feels like it might be giving a little bit more there, but I think I'm going to sort that out with a bit of glue. But I think we're going to be fine. Right, so I'm about halfway through now of doing this, and I think it's being quite effective. So I think I'm gonna carry on doing this, and then I'll leave it so that the centre bit properly dries out, because it's hard to get the iron in there, and then I'll bring it back to you when the rest of this is done and it's properly dried out. So while the other book is drying, I thought I'd work on this one. So I've gone through and I just paper clipped the pages together that are going together, and I have prepped the pages that I'm going to stick on it. I'm using the Rachel and Bella Truly Blue kit. I've not used much of this. I've used the odd page, but I haven't really used the whole kit, and I've got a few documents as well, and I'm going to use some tea dyed paper. I haven't prepped that yet. Those 2 pages here are naturally going together. I thought I might make this a pocket, so I've got the choice of making a pocket at the top or a pocket in the side. So I think I'm just going to do a little pocket in the side. So I'm going to take a circle punch, which I should have thought about before I started, but I didn't. There we go. So what have I got here? Got a 1 3/4. I just randomly picked a punch. So I thought we'd just go through and right, I didn't like that because it's quite thin. So I'm going to put another piece of paper behind it and try again. There, that worked. There we go. Because this is plain and that's plain, I'm not going to cover it. I might do something later on with it, but right now I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to take a bit of art glitter and I'm just going to run a bead up there. Really didn't do that very well. I was distracted by the notice on my iPad saying the usual. Do I want to start a trial? No, I don't. We're going up there. Just There we go. That's that done. So I think initially when I was ripping pages out that I thought this page and this page would stick together, but because it was actually turned out to be attached at the bottom, it's not. So I've kind of got a spare page here. So I thought we might make a pocket here. So I might do a diagonal pocket. So fold that down, and then that can go across there. So let's just fold this down. And then that's ready. Go across there. Obviously that will be covered. So I'm going to just glue these two together. I'm not going to put glue all the way along the middle. I'm just doing glue around the outside because I don't want the glue to make the pages too thick. So I'm just going around the edges like that, because this is going to have paper attached to both sides of it. So I just want to put glue around the edge there. That's going to be a pocket there, and we're just going to have something sticking out there. I thought I might just use one of these receipts. It's the sort of thing I'd probably use tea-dyed paper on, but I haven't got any ready. So that was my thoughts, that I might do that. Might do the little plainer one. Might go for that one. Yeah, might do that. These documents, these are gonna be, I'm gonna do a document kit. So I prepared these for it. I haven't finished it, so you will see these at some point in the future. I might have done it by the time this goes out, because I'm not sure when this is actually going to go out. So all of these are printed on ordinary copier paper, 75 GSM copier paper. If you're watching in the US, no idea what that is. It's kind of like the thinnest paper that you would buy. We have copier paper that can be 80, can even have some at 90. 75 I think is our lightest. So just putting that around there. So then that's ready to go down there. But that will have some coloured paper on it, but I'm not sure yet. You know, some of the pattern paper, but I'm not sure yet which I want to do. So that's going like that. So we've got a diagonal, so we've got a side pocket there, diagonal pocket there, coming across here. So the others, might do another diagonal pocket somewhere else. I think towards the back I've got a spare sheet of paper. I've got two in fact, so I might do a double diagonal on the back here. So just going to glue this. I'm not going to put any side pocket at all. I can't glue it in a straight line. Don't know why. It's just not in me. I'm using art glitter and not Collall for this because Collall does dry really hard. It kind of, it's almost like it adds a GSM to a page, and I don't want to do that, so I'm going to glue these two together. And then I'm going to do another diagonal pocket. So we'll fold that. I did think about leaving these just as a journaling spot, but I like the idea of a double diagonal pocket, and I haven't actually left any room for any others whilst I did it, so something nice then at the end before the last bit of the journal. So I'll glue these bits down. Oops, slightly out of camera there, I do apologise. So that's like that. Now that's already got a plain back, so I might decide later on. This side I want to cover because you can see the writing through it, but this is dead plain, so I don't really need to worry about that side. So I might stick this to there, and that's got that there. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I ruler ripped all the pages and then inked around the edges. Took quite a while, but I think it was worth doing. There we go, so that's ready to go there. So that's that bit done. And then I'm thinking that I like to add my pockets. I think they make quite large pockets when they're done. Let me look and see if there's any plain pages in here. I think that's working quite nicely. I could decide to do another diagonal pocket on here if I want to. There is that option, but I might for now just pick two of these sheets that sort of go together. So these go together in that was one sheet that I cut in half. That could go on there. And this is the reason why I'm not gluing, because otherwise you'd have a layer of glue gluing those two sheets together, a layer of glue gluing that on, and a layer of glue gluing this on. So this would then end up like a piece of cardboard, whereas this way it'll end up like a nice sheet of paper. I don't want this sheet though. I'm finding that a little bit too blue, and I'm thinking that it doesn't necessarily have to match. I could mix it up a bit like so, or I could go for, I need to have some tea dyed paper in here in places as well. Now where's the other side of that postcard page? There it is. So these have been cut in half, so they could be a double page together, and then it's fairly plain, and I can add a pattern on top with a pocket. But I don't think I want that right next to that, so let's pick out the pages that are different. So have one like that. I'm going to go through and do because what I quite like is a pattern sheet and then like a tea dyed sheet. Now let's look at this and make sure it's not too wide. It is slightly too wide, that one. Let's just take a wee bit of it off. And what I want to do with this one that I didn't do with my last altered book is I don't want to just stick all the pages in, because I want to add sort of flips. And so if I wanted to add an envelope, and I want to sort of stick the envelope top in there so that it can flip out. And I won't be able to do that if I've stuck these all down, which was something that I thought about afterwards on the last one. I just happily sat one day chatting, I was at a crafty retreat, and I just stuck all my pages down. So I am thinking a little bit more this time. There we go. So I'm lifting this up a bit so that I can get a good stick down there. So now we've got this page here. Got a nice feel to it. So that's nicely made a start. So I'm just going to continue with gluing these down and then occasionally doing a diagonal double spread pocket up. Probably won't have that many. So we've got a double spread at the back. We've got a single one at the front. So I think I'll do one maybe in the middle. That's that, and then I might go somewhere here. And we'll do just a side pocket there, and then about here maybe. I'll do one on this side. And then all the rest we'll leave just being stuck in and adding pockets and flips and things to it. So I'm going to continue to cover my pages, stick them together, and then decide on envelopes and flips that are going in, and I'm going to print some of the ephemera out that's going to go with it, and do some tags as well. There we are. So this is now dried, and I'm noticing that, I don't know if you can see there, it's coming away a little bit there between the back and the front, so I'm going to put some glue down there. It's come away quite a bit on the sides, but I think that's just normal. So yeah, and there was a bit in the middle here where it looked to be separating somewhere. So I thought I would do just a little bit there. There's a little bit of separation there, so I want to mend there. So I'll just put in a paper clip. Love the feel. Oh, and oh no, that one's fine. I'm sure there was another bit. It might just have been that one. So, and obviously I'll watch that throughout the making of it if anything gets worse. Oh, maybe that was just it. But it has, I just love the feel and the look of having done the tea dyeing. But I say you do, I don't know if the fact that I used my heat gun melted some of the glue. Oh, that must have been the only bit there that needs melting. And I don't know if it's because I used my heat gun on it that I melted the glue, so I don't know. But you can see that that is pulling away there, and so I want to glue that back on just to give it a cut. I'm actually going to use my fabric glue because it's a bit of fabric, so I want to make sure it sticks. So I just shoot that down there on that side, and shoot that down there on this side. Just lots of glue, ooze it all down. So I've just stuck the nozzle right down the hole there, so now I can give it a press. There is a bit of oozing at the top there, which is okay. So I think it will take, it's not an instant stick, so I will allow it to dry. But I can feel it's gone a bit down, so that's good. So now I can see it oozing through some of these holes here, so that tells me the glue's gone down, which is what I want. Just want some extra security. I think with any type of altered book, you've got the danger of things undoing, but we can mend them. Just almost bursting into song with the mouse organs, the mouse on the mouse organ song from Bagpuss. We can do it, we can mend it, we can make it good as new. There we go. So just, right, I'm sort of pushing down here now. So give that a good bit of adhesion. There was no problem at the bottom. It's just the top bit that it was a problem with. And those bits of like cloth that fold over are only at the top of the books anyway. So that, and then just like the other book, I will be sticking bits of tea dyed paper and patterned paper over this. What I'm going to use for this one is, there we go, find it, did a lot of printing yesterday, is the this is the Grungy Essentials from Rach and Bella Crafts. So I did a selection of the pinks kit, the neutral kit, and the teal kit. Beautiful. Printed them at 95% because I want it smaller, and actually looking at that, that's kind of like my template. I could have gone a little bit smaller, but no matter. Because this is just sort of abstract, it doesn't matter about missing bits off the top and the bottom. So I think this will look lovely. And we've got bits of floral, so where we're keeping some of the floral pages, it'll be fine. Right, now there's this bit I want to mend, so I'm gonna, because I can see some cloth bit there, I'm gonna put a bit of glue up there. I'm gonna use my little silicone brush to push it in. And try to sort of fold it over so it oh, I've pushed that too far and I've kind of made it worse. What an idiot. Push that in there. You can see the glue come in. Sort of stick it together. When that dries, I'll put some of my surgical tape over it to nicely stick it together. But I'm going to leave it closed for now, and that's the way I'm going with that. I'll just show you what I've done with the other book, because I've done a few more pages with this, and then we'll call that a wrap, and I'll bring you back to see me add in pockets and envelopes and things, and you can see what I've done. So here I've made a little upward tuck there. So I just folded over a bit of the book page, covered it in the paper, so that's a nice strong upward tuck there. We've got the pocket there. I did a bit of stenciling, left that as it is, and then I added a second pocket. I'll show you how I do that when I do it on the next one. So we've got big pocket, little pocket, cardboard box. So here I've done a little side tuck there, and when you open this, I've got a little paper clip there, and this opens up for some journaling front and back. I just did a little bit of a stamped image on there to go with it. And so this was sticking over the page. I'll show you how I made that, because I'll do another one for later on. And then I've just stuck that on there. and then I've cut these pages to go on there, and I've cut out an envelope. This is one of Rachel's freebies, which I know I had saved somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so I had to go onto a Ko-fi and download it again. But I'll probably put an envelope on here somewhere. Either might not be this one, so I was thinking of having something glued underneath this to flip out, which is why it's not glued on. Ah, here's the one that I was thinking of doing that with, so that can flip out, and we've got a little envelope there. So this was the envelope Rach made without the side bits, but I created some side bits folding in, but I think that would look nice. And I thought I'm going to line up that line there, so that's the same paper as that, it's just shrunk down, but I think that would look quite nice lined up there. And that one on the other side, because it's got a stamp that it sort of goes with the postcardy thing there. And you can journal on this, and then I'll pop something in there for journaling on. So that was as far as I got with my thoughts with this. And actually the fact that I've got a flip there and a flip there, I think I'll just do a plain pocket on there. So yeah, and I am going to leave some pages just plain with tea-dyed paper, I think, although I'm really bad at that. I like to put things on. So I'm really pleased with how this is shaping up. I love the feel of this. I love the feel of the other one. And yeah, so join me again for the next bit of this altered book. Okay, bye for now.